so afraid to sleep at night. You won't get away. It's time for me to let it, let it, let it, let it, let it out. I refuse to run and hide. I must let it, let it, let it, let it, let it out. I refuse to run and hide. All the weight is lifted off my shoulders. I will not hold this in any longer. I know you thought that it would kill me, but it has only made me stronger.
I used to be so down, but smile in front of the crowd. My heart was broken in two, 'cause of the things I've been through, yeah. But one thing that I've learned is that I am beautiful, and no matter what they say, I can make it and you can make it too. So just live your life like each and every moment is last, yeah. Just live your life in each and every moment, rejoicing. Just live your life, each and every moment is last, yeah. Just live your each and every moment, rejoicing. I'll let you in on my secret. Go build your faith up. Fuck all your haters. You see the dream that you have. Don't take your eyes off of that. The one thing you will learn is that you are beautiful. No matter what they say, you can make it. Here's what you gotta do. Just live your life like each and every moment is last, yeah. Just live your life in each and every moment, rejoicing. Just live your life, each and every moment is last, yeah. Just live your each and every moment, rejoicing.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Download it.
Working this skirt.
love you. Doing it. Wah, wah, wah.
Good evening.
Good evening,
evening.
everybody. I am your host, Toboshes Rochester, and I am here with my co-host.
The bassman, Raphael Jones.
Yes, you guys, welcome to Let It Out. And tonight, I want you to share this topic tonight. It is LGBTQ, possibly marriage. Does your family accept your situation? We need to know that tonight. And you know I'm newsy, so I like to be all up in your business now. So don't hesitate to call in too.
302-312-3534.
Yes, yes. And also, if you have any videos, please don't hesitate to submit them to submissions@plugstudio.network.net. Okay? Now, how was your week? Your weekend?
It was all right. It was peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was peaceful.
Okay, okay. Oh, I don't know what happened to our little stand here, but she went out on us. Yeah, good evening, those who have tuned in. Please share this tonight. Awesome topic. Also, let me know how your weekend was in your week. I hope you had an amazing one. For me, it was busy, but I got through it, and that's how we handle things, you know. Okay, well, those who I have seen on the screen, welcome.
Welcome, Brenda. Welcome, baby. How are you?
Welcome, Brenda. Yes, and those who want to participate in this conversation tonight, please don't hesitate to do so. Okay. Ooh. Now, do you know of anybody who is going through this topic tonight? And if it's you, don't hesitate, like I said, to get in on this conversation, because, you know, I like to know what you've been through and if you're still going through those situations at hand. Okay? All right. So do you have anybody, or do you know of anyone who is actually going through that?
Well,
at the point in
yeah,
time?
actually, my daughter got married to her wife, and they did well for a while. They're going through a little something right now, but they did well for a while. They did actually really good. I thought it was great.
Okay.
I actually thought it was great. I mean, I love to see marriages, period. So you're looking at, like, the way people love each other. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You have so many people who are against it. You have so many people who shame it.
Right.
But
right.
love is love.
Yeah,
If they're not bothering you, don't bother them. Let them love each other the way they are. I mean, things come through. Love is funny.
Yes.
Love is also blind, but love is funny.
Yes.
You also, you see one female who go through the stuff where they hurt, they get hurt by their significant others or whatever, and they are fine with it.
Yeah.
Why? That's called love. That's that thing that they have.
Yeah.
That's the way they love it. So why not? LGBTQ is no different. They love who they love. They do what they do. They love what they love. Right. Let them do what they're going to do. Let them be how they're going to be.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, how are you,
welcome,
sir? Hey,
welcome,
Kenyatta.
welcome.
Good evening. Good
welcome,
evening.
everybody.
Jordan
So
Bird
when you first found out about it, how did you feel?
I thought it was awesome.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome because I never had a problem with never had a problem with same-sex marriage. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If you love that person works well with you throughout your life, and that they're going to do great by you throughout your life, nah, that's not one of the things that matters.
Right.
Being whether anybody like it or not, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and do what you're doing because it works out. It works out great. It works out great because everybody knows that. Hello, D Nasty. What's going on, man?
Hello. Welcome.
It works out so great for everybody else.
Right.
Regardless if you the same sex, whatever, it does not matter.
So true.
If they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. If it works, it works. If not, it don't. It's just what it is. Love is love. You can't sit there and say that, because they're the same sex, you shouldn't be doing that. Who told you that?
Yeah.
Who told you they can't do it? There's the one thing they say, well, it's in the Bible. No, it's not. The Bible says love each other.
Right.
It didn't say how to. It said love one another. Tell me in the Bible it says not to love each other in a way of marriage. Because you got to understand, when parts of the Bible was written,
Yeah.
marriage wasn't a part of it because they take one another as husband and as wife.
Right.
Adam and Eve wasn't married.
Right. 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 Right.
I take you as my wife. That's how it was.
Right. Yes.
Religion was added a lot later.
Right.
So people were married long before religion. So,
Oh, she said, "Preach, baby."
so you got to understand the difference
Yes.
between knowing what it is what's important. Matters of the heart is always important.
Yeah.
It's always
So
important.
true.
If you love that person, you love that person fully and wholeheartedly.
Exactly.
What are you worrying? What anybody else worrying about it for?
Yeah. Yeah. I know some people that that I know who have been in this type of relationship. They were removed,
Yeah,
from family.
Yeah.
Like fully. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Don't call me. I don't know what you need. Yada 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 down the line. And to me, I believe, like, no matter what, like you said, I'm gonna love you regardless about whatever you decide. I mean, that's you. I don't
Yeah.
have to live just the way you are. You do
Right.
what you're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? So,
Right.
family is family, no matter what they decide
Mhm.
in the relationship.
They still
They are,
family.
but they're still family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you guys, if you'd like to get in on this conversation with us tonight, don't
Please
hesitate.
call. Please
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
302
Yes.
312 3534. Please call in. Because this is one of those things where you have people who's very, very offside with things.
Yeah.
They'll say, well, you can't bring that to the church. But the law says you can marry. So why not? And so you got to also look at it. Most of the teaching of the church comes from the Roman Catholic. If the Pope is able to change it and say, okay, it could be done,
Yes.
why are you against it?
Right. Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Right. Yeah. So and I see it all the time, and I don't judge, like you said, love is love. I bump into people all the time who are couples, and then sometimes I ask questions, because I want to know how does your family feel about it, and what have you, your children, because some people keep it away from their children.
Exactly.
They
I've
hide
heard
their
how they used to say,
relationships. Yeah.
oh, uncle somebody or aunt somebody is in the house. That's funny. No, say who they are.
Yeah.
I have an aunt that was in a relationship for
Yeah.
years, and we thought that it was just aunt this and aunt that, but they were in a relationship, and it was like they kind of like had to hide it. Nowadays you don't have to hide it, and now it's like it wasn't that way anymore.
Right.
It's not necessary to do that. It's never been necessary to me.
Right.
Do what you do. Love who you love. Be who you want to be with.
Right. Yeah.
Because you got to understand something. LGBTQ was not just made up.
Right.
It's been here.
For many years,
As
many
long as humans been on this earth, it's been here. Don't sit there and act like it just came about like in the 80s when Freddie Mercury and all of them was running around, doing, and the village people was running. No, it's been long before that. Way longer before that. As a matter of fact, it's in your Bible and you just don't even know
if you
that you're
look that up,
reading it.
you will find all that. Google it and it will pop up.
But you have people in the Bible talking about something. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. No, it's
No,
long
it's not.
outside
It's
of that.
Yes.
It's outside of that, bruh.
Way. Do your research, and it will, it will show, and it will come up, and those who are in same-sex marriages or what have you, or relationships, that's you. If that's what you're happy with, go with it.
Exactly.
Everybody needs love. Some people, they be like, oh no, that you wasn't born that way, and yada yada yada. But if that's how your heart lead you,
Always.
to go.
Always go with
it. Just on you. You know what I mean? we have no reason, we have no reasonable cause to judge you. That's not fair to you,
Never.
So, and people stare. I notice too
They
when
do.
they see
They do, and that's sad.
the same married, relationships or what have you. People stare at them. I notice it, and I be like, "Dang, they really are staring at them," But I mean, let them be. If that's what they choose to be, let them. So like I said, share this topic tonight. If you know someone who is in this type of relationship now, or it may be you.
Yeah.
So call in 302-312-3534. Because this is something people don't really like to talk about, but Taboshes.
Yeah.
She likes to talk about everything. And I like to go to that. So,
Yeah.
So
So when you get into how deep a lot of this stuff really is,
yeah.
you
Hello.
get into Shaquana,
Hello.
you get into people understanding that gay, as a lot of people
Yeah.
prefer to it as gay relationships. LGBTQ community has the right to love just like everyone else has the right to
Exactly.
love.
Thank
Let
you.
them do what they want to do,
Yeah.
and I guarantee you your life will be just fine. Your life is fine without it. Your life is fine with it.
Yeah.
If you're not living it, leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have nothing to do with it, leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have nothing to do. If your neighbors are just your neighbors and you don't care about them, they don't care about you, let it be what it is. It's the exact same thing with the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sit there and talk about how, they doing this, doing that, and then HIV come around, and then everybody want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That is not how that exactly went. You gotta look at it. HIV was started by a straight man who decided to do some things with a person with himself, and then took it home to his wife and everything else. Think about it. It's not done by just gay people. It's not.
Right.
It's more out there that y'all don't know. Do the research before you talk about it.
Yes. Yes.
Do the research before you talk about
And
it.
don't hate on people.
Don't
because-
halfway do it. Do it all the way
know.
through. Y'all don't understand that it's more out there to this world than just that.
Exactly. Thank you.
It's more stuff. It's more stuff to worry about. You wanna fight crime? Go out there on the street and deal with your community that's dealing with crime in your community. LGBTQ is not doing nothing to you. Let them do
Right.
what they
That's
do.
their-
They want to
that's their
love.
right.
Let them
Yeah,
love. Let them
yeah,
be together.
Yeah. I have I had some friends that married same sex, but that's them,
Right.
And I was like, okay, how do you feel? Are you happy? Because I told her, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters
That's
to me.
all that matters.
That's all that matters to me, because you're the one who has to live with, deal with that and all that. So she's like, yeah, my parents don't want me around any longer.
Mm.
Well, honey, you know what? They'll come around
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna miss you,
Mhm.
or him. They're gonna miss you. You know what I mean? So, I wouldn't give up. People are people.
My brother had a family friends day at his church.
Yeah.
It just so happened that one of the topics during that time was when they okayed same-sex marriages in a lot of states.
Right.
And I went to the church. I sat there and I listened to the pastor. He, you gotta understand, pastors are humans. They are human first. Don't ever get it misconstrued. They are humans first.
Yes.
They got so many people to put their lives in the pastor's hand, and that is not where it should be.
Right.
Your faith in life should be into God and whoever you worship only, not in the human being that's telling you the word.
Right.
So let's get that straight. This man stood up in the pulpit talking about how they are now okay in same-sex marriage, but he was like, at this church,
Yes.
we're not going to okay that. We're not going to marry those who want to. Excuse me. And the first thing I said was, okay, so that means that this guy is giving his own opinion, and just like they say, you should not judge anybody. He's passing his own judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, okay, I don't need to be here to hear this junk. it's not what it's for me.
Right.
Everybody like, so you okay with same-sex marriage? I was like, of course. Love is love.
Mm-hmm.
We had this conversation at one of my jobs. I said, the guy said, well, he was supposed to be so, churchy like. So he was like, well, God said you can't love the same. I said, no, he didn't. Told you that.
Right.
I said, that's the interpret that you brought up.
Right. Yeah.
God said love one another. He didn't say exactly how.
Exactly.
He said love one another.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, he said love one another.
Yeah.
He did not say how.
Right.
Just love each other.
Yes, that's it.
But if you decide to love each other to the point that you want to be with that person for the rest of your life, that's your business.
Exactly.
That's not the business of anybody else's. That's their business.
Right. Yeah.
What are you crying about?
Right.
They go home with each other.
Yes.
What you worried about it for?
Right.
You gonna go in their house and tell them, no, they can't do this, but then go
Right.
home with your man and sleep with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
So true.
That's their life. You messing up their life for you? For what? That's not that situation.
Right.
LGBTQ has the right to do whatever they want.
They're human just like anyone
Live
else.
the way they want, be the way they want, see how they want.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people have right now, they have a problem with the fairy godmother being a male in the
Yeah.
new Cinderella.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny to me. That's fine. But a lot of people are like, all right, why is he doing this and that? That is art.
Right.
That's art. That's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a great job. Okay, so do I believe it? Do I live my life of it? No.
Right.
I have a beautiful wife at
Right.
home. Excuse me, my throat is a little dry. I have a beautiful wife at home. And I have kids. I do everything, I'm not saying I'm doing everything exactly right, but I'm doing what I do.
Right.
That's my life.
Right.
Do I have dealings with anybody of the LGBTQ community? Yes. I do musical theater.
Yes.
That is there.
Right.
It's wherever it is.
Yeah.
So I deal with a lot. Do it bother me? No. Have I had people from the LGBTQ community come on to me? Yes. Respectfully, let them
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that's not
That's
me.
not me. Yeah.
I don't do that.
I don't do
I'm
that
not
either.
down with that. I have a woman. I have someone in my life. And they respectfully walk away.
Yeah.
Get this. Get this. This is funny. You get a lot of women go to the club. These guys are hitting on them. I'm going to buy you a drink, shorty. What's up? This ain't that, and a third. Then you get somebody that's in the LGBTQ community at the same club. They respect you more than than the people that's sitting there that's straight trying to respect you. They
Right.
don't.
Right.
So you sit there, you got to think about it. What's there that's not here?
Right.
These people respect you a little bit more. So sometimes you got to take notice and realize that, you know what, you got to do what you got to do as a person, as an
Yes.
adult, as who
Yes.
you are. So why not allow them to be
Right.
married, be happy, do what they do?
Yeah.
Don't cut them off. You may learn something. You may learn how to love better through them.
You never know.
Because some of them love better than what we do. And that's true.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people who don't understand that,
They
though.
don't.
They don't understand that at all. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, you got some homophobes out there that's just,
They're like, oh God, they really talk really down
Yeah.
to them,
Yeah.
what they prefer, as far as their love life.
yeah.
You shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? As you were growing up, like, did your parents ever dislike?
My
did they ever
grandfather.
Okay.
That was my grandfather.
Okay.
You got to understand something. This guy was in World War II. You got to understand that those times,
Okay.
they were extremely homophobe. And you got to, you heard everything back in the day. I mean, from the race
Yes.
to gays to you heard everything. So, this is an older gentleman. So, you heard everything. Yeah, so he was against a lot of it. And I think that's partially why my aunt was, like, keeping it quiet.
Right.
But when we got older, my aunt looked at me and said, I'm gay, right? It's like, come on now. I had to explain to her. I was like, by this time, I was already deep
Right.
into like theater and everything. I'm
Right.
like, come on now, you already know I knew.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
Right.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah.
This make you happy? Be happy.
Right.
Do it. So I try to let them know, like, hey, all right, this is how you want to do. This is what you do.
Yeah.
Never upset. Never upset. But I have a cousin that says every day, like when we was talking, like, yeah, I pray that she wouldn't be or she wouldn't do. I'm like, no, that's not how they go.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to,
We got a caller.
talk about
we have
this.
we have
We
a
got
caller.
A caller.
Okay.
Yay.
It's It's
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Welcome to Let It Out. Who are we speaking
Can
with?
you hear me good?
Yes,
we
we
can hear
can.
you fine. How are you tonight?
Okay. This is Mrs. Jones.
Hey,
Hello.
Mrs. Jones.
Hello. I want to say this to everybody that's listening.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if you gay, you straight, you bi, whatever. Love is love.
Yes. Yes. So
My
true.
daughter,
Yes.
okay, our oldest daughter,
Yes.
Mhm.
she married a wonderful woman.
Yes, you did.
Okay?
Okay.
Even though they go through their stuff, it's whatever.
Right.
You have the same problem as if you're heterosexual.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Love is
You
love.
bleed red blood, just
Hey,
like we
Keith.
bleed red blood. If
Right.
you bleed something else, I can't fuck with you. Sorry.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But people always judging. People always looking at other people's situation and not their own.
Right.
Right.
So true.
That's the problem.
Yes. So true.
I don't give a damn
That's
who
the
you
daughter
love
we
as long as
talking
they
about.
treat you right.
Hello,
What difference
beautiful.
does it make?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my thing, love is love. That's
Yes.
all to it.
Yeah,
right,
it is,
that's
Mama.
right.
If you are destined to be with somebody,
Yes.
if it's the same sex,
Mhm.
sorry, only God can judge.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
like my baby said, hey, it's in the Bible.
Yes, it is.
Love everybody.
Yes. It's so true.
But that's
Yeah.
being hypocritical.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. It
it
is. It
You know?
is. Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
I just had to open my mouth and say love is love. They are, you know.
Yes.
Not worrying about what they do and just accept people for who they are.
Thank
Exactly.
You. Thank
That's
you
true.
so much.
That's it. I
Yes.
love my daughter. I love my daughter-in-law. I call
That's
her my
beautiful.
daughter.
That's beautiful.
Both of them are still a pain in their ass. But I love 'em. You got what I'm saying?
Yes.
I go to war for them.
Yes. That's
They
right.
had a beautiful ceremony.
Yes, they did.
I know other same-sex couples.
Yes.
So what? It does not matter.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you're gonna say I do, fine, do it.
Mm-hmm. That's,
That's
right.
all it is.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
You know, people so busy worried about what the next person doing. Stop that shit. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
Right.
You got the COV19 running around. Worry about that shit.
Right.
Instead of worrying about, what
Somebody
who
else.
somebody loves.
That's right.
Forget all of that.
Right. That's so
But
true.
that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in and letting it out,
No
Miss
problem.
Brenda.
All right, Mama.
Who is that man right there? He looking kind of good.
See.
That's Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones, yeah.
Me and Mr. Jones got a thing going on.
Yes, we do. I love you, baby.
I love you too, baby. Y'all have a good night.
You
All
too.
All right.
Yes, you guys. I hope you guys tuned into that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really deep.
Hey, Iris,
know.
how are you? Yes, love
Yes.
is the greatest
Hello,
commitment.
hello.
Yes, it is.
So true.
So it's like, yeah, that's one of the major things. So, hey, Keisha,
Yes.
finally looking at the show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And welcome.
That's our daughter-in-law.
Oh, welcome, love. Now, for those who are tuning in tonight, I need you to share this
Share the
tonight.
show
It's a
tonight.
powerful topic that we all need to talk about. Because, like I said, Taboshi's going to talk about it, even though you don't want to. You don't want
Those
to know
little
your
pops.
business.
Right.
Yes. So, like I said, tonight's topic is very, very powerful topic that some people are afraid to talk about. Same-sex marriages, relationships,
Yeah.
and denial from family.
Yeah.
So if you think that is you, or you know someone who is going through that right now or has been going through it, don't hesitate to call in and get in on this conversation. 302.
312-3534.
Yes.
Iris Williams. Hey, have you had any situations like that? Call in. I would like to hear how what your journey went through.
Yes, yes. We
So
need to
yeah,
hear from people, from those who are actually going through it or have been through it, to where you have denial, family and friends,
yeah,
and you know, like I say, all the time, if you love that person, your heart is for that person, then be with them.
yeah,
You know what I
definitely,
mean? Don't,
definitely.
don't, let nobody throw that,
Oh, wow. Iris said hi. Actually, I'm a gay pastor. I would love to hear
Oh,
what
you
you
need to
got to
call
say.
in.
I would
You
love to
need to
hear what you
call
got to say.
in.
Please tell
Please.
them something.
Call in, please.
Please do.
302.
312-3534. Please do that. We
Yes,
would
honey.
love to hear what
Oh
you.
my
This is the
goodness.
first time I would love to hear what a gay pastor have to say.
Yes.
That would be
Oh my,
awesome.
this is so beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. When it's about you and things that you're going through, don't
Up,
hesitate to
up,
let it out. Here
up.
you
We getting a
oh
call. We got
hit
a
it, hit it,
call.
hit it. Hit the speaker. Yep. And
Welcome to
Let
Let
It
It
Out.
Out. This is Raphael Jones and Tobosius.
Blessings, blessings. This is Pastor Iris Williams Gillis.
Hello.
Blessing, blessing,
How are
blessing. How
you
are you?
doing?
I am wonderful this evening. I am so elated to hear this show. You guys pulled me right in.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad that you called in. So let it out with us. So tell us about your
Your journey
journey.
and
Yeah.
anything that you can bless us with,
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Sure, sure. First off, I am a preacher's kid, so I
Okay.
must honor my parents,
Yes.
David and Mary Williams, who did raise me in holy fear and an apostolic Pentecostal background. So
Okay,
Okay.
I want to
okay.
Okay.
honor my parents first of all.
Okay.
But as a pastor, I'll just be very frank. Um, we were taught a certain way. And I'm 47 years old. So if you look back 50 years
Right.
Okay.
and you look at the culture of
Mhm.
church
Yes.
and you really pay attention to the way that we were taught,
Right.
Yes.
you have to admit that hatred was taught.
Yes, it was.
Fantastic.
Yes, it
Yes,
was. Yes, it
that's
was.
true.
It's whether it was done intentionally or
Mhm.
accidentally.
Yes.
Now I have discovered just through studying and learning that there are so many things in the world that you can't believe that's been taught falsely.
Exactly.
That is exactly what's happened, even
Yes.
with the Word of God.
Yes.
So when you go all the way back to slavery days, there's so much that was I would say made okay through the Bible. I tell a lot of people, really, if you want to look at the word, even slavery itself can be verified through the Bible.
Yes.
If you pull out a certain scripture and you don't use it according to context.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So just to try to help, for the people who are listening to get some understanding,
Yes.
God's love is for all his creation.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
The
Yes.
scripture says God is all in all.
Hmm.
Yes.
That's everybody.
Everybody.
That's all inclusive. There's
That's
no
it.
one left out of that statement.
Right.
And regardless as to what your religion is, because we tend to we have kind of a frown on the word Christian, because Christians is one of the most and I'm just going to be frank, like I said, hate is taught more
Mm-hmm.
in Christianity than almost any other religion, except for maybe your Muslims or your extremist Hebrew Israelites, things like
It's
that.
true.
Yes.
That
so
is
true.
true.
So true. Yes.
So we say spiritual because
Mhm.
Christ really came so that we can focus on spiritual matters.
Yes.
My heart breaks because the world is so captivated in sex. When we leave this earth realm, there will be no sex. We will
Right.
be neither male nor female.
Yes.
And I personally just feel like it's really sad that there's so much hatred,
Yes.
even to the point of people killing each other. You know, what
Yes.
happened in Orlando a few years ago was
Yes.
devastating.
Right. That's true.
But, when we leave here, we will be spiritual beings. There will be no male, no female.
Right.
Right.
There will be none of this. And we just focus on the wrong things. We should
Yeah.
really spend more time on focusing on letting people be human.
Yes.
And I
Thank you for
believe that's
saying
the
that.
message of Christ.
Thank you for saying that. Mm-hmm.
Thank you greatly for saying that.
Yes,
Yes, that is
yes.
true.
I believe it's just about being a person.
Yes.
My parents don't understand. I don't have any animosity towards them. I actually did the opposite. I didn't want to embarrass my parents by my
Right.
choice, so I moved away.
Okay.
I did not want my lifestyle to be an embarrassment to them. So I lived a very separate lifestyle from my family.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want my parents to have to deal with
Right.
how can you be a man and a woman of God and you have a
Yes.
gay child and all the things that they would go through. But
Right.
now that I'm older, God has charged us
Mm-hmm.
to provide a safe place for everyone, where everyone is welcome, regardless to even your culture.
Right. Right.
Even your culture.
Mm-hmm.
I've studied religion enough to realize that a lot of the things, even that are taught in separate religions, is very much like what we're taught in
Right.
spiritual religion. In Christianity, it's very similar.
Exactly.
We're all taught to be peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
We're all taught to be helpful.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter what Bible, whether you pick up the Quran or whether you study Buddhism,
Yeah.
we're all taught to show unity.
Mm-hmm.
We're all taught the same basic principles,
Yeah.
which tells me that the creator of
Mm-hmm.
humanity wants the same for each of us, and that is to love each other, to accept our humanity.
Right.
Right.
Right. And question for you:
Yeah.
What age did you really know that you wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for?
To be with a woman,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
to be lesbian. Believe
Yes.
it or not, I considered myself a bisexual
Okay.
for many years, and right now I consider myself a lesbian by marriage because
Okay.
of the beautiful woman of God that I have been finally blessed to meet.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
I've always been gay. When I
Okay.
look back at my lifestyle, I
Okay.
realized that, when my mother was praying for me, at that time they're taught that this is demonic. So my mother would try to pray the demons off me when I was little.
Mm.
It took me, to be almost 30 something years old before I realized that what she was praying off of me and calling demonic wasn't demonic at all.
It
It was
wasn't.
just my
Right.
identity.
Right.
That's just what it
It
was.
was
Right.
just simply my sexuality, nothing more than that.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, and so I had to reprogram myself that this isn't bad for you,
Okay.
that you're okay. So it was a big process for me. It wasn't like a little process. It was
Right.
a lot of steps to get to freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand.
So doing your learning, like as you going towards pastoring, have you ever came across the fact that Jesus also had like gay disciples and other stuff like that as well?
Yeah, there's actually, and this is the beauty in studying.
Exactly. I came
When you
across
really
that
begin
myself.
yes, when you really begin to study the word and you really
Yes.
begin to read the Bible for yourself,
Right.
you'll find that there is everything there. Because
Exactly.
it doesn't make sense. Just like the world is today, just like the
Yes.
world is full of people today,
Yeah.
of course the world was full of people back then.
Right.
The difference is the Roman culture, who were very open. That was a very open culture. Men of prestige were actually given what you call a beautiful male boy as a reward in their culture. And this is just like we would rent a trophy for the Olympics back then.
Right.
And
Exactly.
their culture was very open with that. It was
Yes, it
okay.
was.
It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
And the men loved these beautiful young
Yes,
male
they did.
men. And I'll just be honest with you, everybody did, because of course, if you even look at right now, you can see the beautiful feminine young men are very talented when it
Yes.
comes to beauty
They
and
are.
self-care and presenting yourself a certain way. And so
Exactly.
it was a gift for a man of prestige to have an honor, to like have one of these young male, and they were slaves, but
Yeah,
they were
Yeah.
they
given to
were.
them, almost like a trophy.
Right.
So
These were men that was
People
given
taking
to take
take care
care
of
of the
the
men,
women.
yes,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of it been omitted from the Bible that people don't know. If you don't have the Bible
No,
that was changed
you won't
over
know.
from what is it, 1635, you would never see this.
Right.
So
You would
right,
these
never
things
know
were
the
in the Bible
research
that was back in
in those
1635 on
times.
back.
Yeah.
You would see these
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't have that
Right.
version of the
Yeah.
Bible, you
Yeah.
would never see this stuff.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
you know, there's shows on TV that show you like back in those times where they had the statues and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 You are
Yeah.
pastor. You are awesome. So like I said,
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
you know how many
Yes.
This
people
is
I
a
said
key.
this to, and they believe I was lying. No, I told you that this stuff was real. I did research.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes.
Absolutely,
Alicia.
it just takes a little bit of studying, and I have to
Yeah.
give honor to Archbishop Anna Neal Negretti, who I know will definitely correct me once she hears this broadcast if I've gone astray. But I think what really opened my eyes is when I discovered that the word homosexuality, the word homosexual,
Yes.
is not even 200 years old. People don't
Right.
realize that. But how can a word that's not even 200 years old make it into a 2,000-year-old Bible?
Exactly.
So true.
It
Exactly.
it
So
brought
true.
up major red flags for
true.
me. I really don't
Yeah.
like the word homosexual. I prefer same gender loving. Um,
Exactly.
Okay.
when I
Yes.
began to look at the word homosexual, I found out it was actually derived from a German Nazi
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to um, discourage homosexuality.
Yes.
It
Right.
was almost like what you have now, where the government controls things. Well,
Yeah.
this German Nazi came up with this word,
Yeah.
and because of his authority, he was able to use it, and it spread abroad, and it's all over the world now. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are using the word homosexual
Right.
and using it the way the Bible, actually, the way it is in like the NIV and other versions. But
Right. Right. Right.
the word homosexual itself never existed in the
Right.
Bible.
It didn't. It's so true
Yeah.
because they
It
didn't
never
know
did.
exactly what to call it. It
Yeah.
wasn't a name
Exactly.
for
They
it.
couldn't
Exactly.
find
It
no
wasn't
other
no name
word.
for it.
Yeah.
Right. So
There
yeah.
was no name for it.
Yeah.
There was no name for it.
So they.
And
came
a
up
lot
with
of
something.
a lot of the sins that are in the Bible that people think
Yeah.
is talking about a same gender loving relationship, it really has nothing to do with it.
Right.
A lot of it is a lot of
Pedophilia.
just false god worship.
Pedophilia.
In the Roman culture,
Right.
there was a lot of gods that were worshipped.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was their culture.
Mm-hmm.
And they did things like men would offer their children and their wives to have sex with so that they could be blessed with fertility. And there were a lot of false god worship
Yeah.
in
Right.
the Bible. And it was very prominent.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so a lot
Yes.
of things that the Bible is actually talking about doesn't really have anything to do with homosexuality. It has to do with that. And
Yes.
so
That is
Okay.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That is true.
Yes.
All of
Very.
that is true. You know, I
Yeah.
did a lot of. See, people used to say to me, "Have I ever took up the idea of being a pastor?" And I told my wife, as well as others, that I would never do it because once I start telling the truth, they won't like me. And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "There's a lot of stuff in the Bible that isn't true,
Right.
and that they're going to sit there and say where I get it from." I did research on a lot of things. It's just like if I was to sit there and tell you that I used to ask people like, where did Moses free his people
Yeah,
from? They used to
yeah.
go, yeah, from Egypt.
Right.
No, he
Most
didn't.
Right.
During that time when Moses was there, it was called Kemet. You cannot change the name just
Right.
because you want to change
Right,
it. It was
right.
called
Oh,
Kemet.
Kemet, right.
So you got to understand, if they could change the name, they could change the story. And if they could change the story, they can dictate how much you want to know about life. And they
you hear
can change
that?
everything about what you know.
Yes.
And if they're gonna admit a
Yeah.
lot of stuff about homosexuality
So
as well
true.
as sexuality of any kind
That's
that they
right.
want to. That's why Sodom and Gomorrah is supposed to be such a bad place,
Yeah.
when in
And
fact
it had
that was
nothing
one
to
of the
do
most
with
highest
same. It
places
had nothing
ever.
to do with
Right.
same gender.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It
Yes.
had nothing
Yep.
to do with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because it's been the word, because the Bible's been interpreted so many times over and over and over again,
Exactly.
every time it's interpreted, you get that man's interpretation.
Yes, you do.
You know,
Yes,
Exactly.
you do.
so it's
So
Exactly.
true.
changed over and over again.
That's right.
Um, you have charged me, brother. I am going to look that up about yeah.
Ah.
I'm going to go study that when I get done.
Yeah.
So
What is
thank
it?
you.
And someone just and some
Our
the
producer.
our producer just said about looking up Mesopotamia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You'll realize that the Bible that you reading now is an offshoot of the Mesopotamian Bible
oh, okay.
with the same story.
I don't know if you can hear. She was saying that
I
the Bible.
did.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's actually it's really in depth with religion and understanding. Like a lot of people don't understand that
Right.
how serious a lot of stuff. I mean, only thing you gotta do is like it's just like slavery. If you
Yes,
put it
it
in the
is.
Bible and tell
Exactly.
them what it is, they're gonna believe you. Just like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand
Exactly.
the story between um like the minister and what's his name, um the slave that went rogue and decided to kill his masters and
Yeah.
everything.
I know.
I can't remember his name
Yeah.
right now because my mind is going crazy.
Nat
But
Turner,
Nat Turner, thank you. When Nat Turner was also he was a slave, he was a slaves minister,
Right.
and so nobody understood why things went as crazy as it
Right.
did.
Right.
But yeah, you got to understand. If I can tell you to tell your people this,
Yeah.
you gonna tell your people this, they're gonna follow this, and that's how that thing went. So if
Right.
I tell you that LGBTQ cannot have this,
Yeah.
they're going to tell you this, and that's how you gonna believe that that's what it really is.
Right.
When that's not how it really is.
Exactly. Yeah.
You-
Exactly.
the Council of Nicaea, they put all that mess in there, but it originally was man shouldn't lay with a
Children.
child.
Yes.
Right.
The original thing was
Exactly.
man
Yeah,
should
you
not
guys
lay
heard
with
that.
I
children.
heard that on something
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
You guys have been studying. That's
Yes.
exactly what it is.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
That's the correct interpretation.
It is. It
And
is.
as far as homosexuality, to
Mhm.
be frank,
Yeah.
people feel some kind of way about it, but it was weird. We lesbians had a whole island.
Yeah.
Called the island of Lesbos.
Mhm.
That's why you call it a lesbian.
Right.
I
I
might
heard
look
about
that
that.
up too, sis. Thank you for that.
I heard about that too.
With heterosexual men, I love this challenge, and I remember asking my father this question when I was very young.
Yes.
People have so much to say about lesbianism or same gender,
Yeah.
but what do you consider a man who is put in the bed with hundreds of women to sleep with them to keep him warm? And we talk about this story in the Bible, and people never say this. They never
Right.
bring it out. But
Mhm.
it says that King David, to keep warm, they put naked women in the bed with him.
Yes.
Right.
And they laid at his feet to keep him warm. Now, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm too grown to pretend that the women just laid there naked at his feet all night. I'm
Right.
sorry, you could tell somebody else that, but
Yeah.
when you're
We
looking
know.
at a
Yeah.
situation like that,
Mhm.
there's several women in that bed together. What do you think was going on?
Right.
Like, they're just things that when you read the Bible,
You should
it only
know.
takes a little bit of common
Yeah.
sense to
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
understand
But
that there's a
really-
lot of judgment that's being taught that
Yes.
shouldn't be being taught.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So true. So true.
And there's
Exactly.
story after story where
Yes,
it's
it
right
is.
there in your face.
Yes.
The woman at the well that Jesus talked to who had 7 husbands.
Yeah.
And people talk about men having several husbands, but they never talk about women having
Right.
several husbands. But it's, again, right there in your face,
Yeah.
but overlooked, not talked about,
Right.
and we're still shunning people,
Mm-hmm.
What really
And
messed
so-
everybody up,
Yeah.
if you study, because our culture, the African culture, is much earlier than our culture.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
If
Definitely.
you listen
So
to
true.
oral traditions,
Yeah.
they'll tell you there was a time when we were all intersex.
Yeah.
That will blow
Yeah.
everybody's mind.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So true.
And it was common. It was okay.
So
It
true.
wasn't thought about as anything.
Right. Exactly.
That's why there's no words for it.
Mhm.
That's why it wasn't no name for it back
Right,
then. Right.
right. Yeah.
because it was a natural thing at one time.
Exactly.
So they tried to find a way to actually, and I'm going to say it, actually Christianity had cut a lot of things in half and made things look that it was just them, that this is how it is, this is how it was, this is how it should be. I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, at the beginning, October, November, December wasn't a
Yeah.
part of the calendar.
No,
So
it wasn't.
Right.
so to sit there and say that Jesus was supposed to have been born in December was
Right,
horrible.
right.
So it wasn't because it wasn't even
It's
those
right.
It
those
wasn't-
dates
things
wasn't
wasn't
even
put in
there.
Yeah.
So you're looking at
It wasn't thought about.
right. So you're looking
Yeah.
at how they changed the calendar just so they can create their own idea of where
Exactly.
everything was born, and how
Yes.
everything was ran. So
Yes.
if they can do that, you looking at how many times they try to change
Exactly.
our mind about everything
Everything.
else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything is questionable.
Right.
Everything should be questionable. There's nothing, you should
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
believe anything without wanting to dig deeper.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just so you
Nothing
can
that
try to hide
Exactly.
what it is, right?
What the truth really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot into it, and Pastor, I am so happy that you had called in
Yes,
because I'm gonna
yes,
tell
yes.
you.
You guys, I didn't plan on doing this, but I appreciate you guys inviting me. I'm so
I
humbled.
am so
You are
happy.
always welcome
I'm
to
happy
come
that
on.
you were able. I'm happy that you were able to let it out with us
Yes.
and continue listening in. Oh my goodness, and
will.
your
Yeah.
word of positiveness, and
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
for others to take in and listen
Yeah.
in. So I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Stay blessed and
Yes.
stay up on it. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you
yes,
so
yes, yes.
much.
Guys, good night.
Good
Good night, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you. That was
Hey.
awesome.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I thought I wasn't going crazy. So you got so many people
Yeah.
who sat there and told me how I was crazy for saying what I was saying. No.
no,
You had a pastor just there and said the
Yeah.
exact same thing. So yeah, it's there.
right,
My wife sat there and told me many days, like everybody came to me, kept telling me, honestly, kept saying how I should be a pastor. I kept saying no. Because if I say these things, they're gonna be mad. Because it's real.
right,
You do the research, you'll
Right.
learn it.
Right.
Pastor just said it. There's a lot of research that need to be done before
Yeah.
you sit there and start preaching and stuff.
Right.
You got a lot of people who are against homosexuality,
Right.
LGBTQ community, all the way through.
All of it.
They talk down about everything,
Yeah.
but this stuff was in the Bible
It's so
of
true.
being okay in the Bible that was written back before what was it? Before 1635.
Right.
When 1635 came around, they got this new version of the Bible that came out that omitted a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of things out the
Yeah.
Bible. Oh yeah, when the King
Yeah.
King James was a
Yes.
hoe. Then you gotta look at it, the thing that came out of him was horrible.
right.
Yeah,
Go ahead and read some comments
My-
for us, darling.
my baby's always coming. All right, she was asking for
Kieta.
the number.
I
Kenyatta said, "I
Don't knock it.
yeah don't."
I can't with her. I say don't knock it until you try it.
Right,
And if it's not for you, oh well. Just not judge no one.
right. No one
No one
else
else for what they prefer.
What they prefer, right?
And
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. Oh, she was talking about something. So he was a hoe, like
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah, yeah.
having a whole bunch of ladies in.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's never mentioned
Yeah.
that LGBT people were used as muses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Certain cultures, we
Yeah.
were your oracles, we were
Yeah.
your,
yeah.
were your
Entertainment. There was
Yeah.
entertainment. They was
Back in the
everything.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was used for everything back
Open up
then.
shows and everything. Big T. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said
Yeah.
we would be closer to God because
Right.
God is duality, so we would be able to reach.
Exactly.
They was used for everything.
Yeah.
It was like Kenyatta said, I believe that the people that has the problem with other
Other-
people chooses needs. Did I say that right?
Choices.
Choices need to mind their own their own
Business.
fucking business. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All good points. She was saying all good points, and my baby said, "Oh, it's coming." No, I'm not going to be a minister. I love you, baby.
Yeah.
So this is what's going.
Yeah.
This
And the
one-
Kieta stated, "Well, sign me up for the entertainment." I
See, the
can't.
thing back then, you gotta also look at like an Asian lifestyle.
Yes.
Doing concerts, doing shows. Back in the day, the what they called like the Geechee women or the
Yeah.
whatever,
Gishi.
they were men.
Yeah.
on stage. They wasn't women. They were men.
Geisha.
So they could not have women on stage. So they would have these men dressed up as women
Yeah.
to be on stage. And I went to one of those shows that they actually showed the old tradition
Right.
of how they used to do it. And I was like, "Are you serious? That's a man?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
they
what
used to do
pastors
these
say too.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you feel as though that this is you tonight,
Yeah. Yes.
denial
Please.
from your family because of your LGBTQ marriage or relationship, don't hesitate to call in and let us know.
Yes. Please.
If this is you or someone that you know of is going through this at this point in time.
Please be sure you
know.
call in.
Yeah. Because,
302-312-3534.
oh man, I'm glad that I decided to do this topic because it was really on my mind to talk about because I talk to people all the time, and they tell me these things, my family don't want nothing to do with me because I'm in this,
Yeah.
and that's, but, everybody has their choices or what have you, but, your family is your family, and you shouldn't turn your back on one another when it becomes, just because they decide,
that's
of
their
sexuality,
life.
whatever they choose.
That's their life.
Let them live.
Let them live. Let them live. Let them be happy.
If that's, let them find out if it works for them or not.
Exactly.
Let them have that, not you. Let them decide, So, I'm really.
You got all these people telling them, you can't do that because you won't get into the kingdom of God. Let God tell them that they can't get in.
Yeah,
not you.
Not you. Yeah.
That's not your place.
Yeah, you don't
Let
judge.
them live their own life.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. But yeah, if you live a bisexual lifestyle, whatever you want to live, there's this one couple that comes on the internet now. I laugh at them because they're funny. The husband and the wife got married, but the wife has a girlfriend that lives with them.
Oh.
I find that to be funny, but you have people who have that life. You just gotta let them live their life.
Yeah, let them be.
But if you have family members, matter of fact, I'm gonna even open up the air to say this.
Yeah.
If you are a family member that don't like it, call in. Let me hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
But if you have a family member that was against you, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's
we
hear
need
it.
to hear what you have to say about it, because, like we said, everybody has their own way of thinking.
And being and
Yeah.
what love is to you.
Yeah. Everybody loves in different ways, So, I feel as though, we need to keep talking about it.
Love is
'cause
love.
It's not talked about enough.
Love is love.
And,
Yeah.
So, we need to share these thoughts, and talk amongst each other,
Yeah.
And,
Definitely.
Get to know, what it is that you like and what you don't like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Because it's not exactly one of those things where you have the right or to understand that who they love.
Right.
That's not your judge. That's not your call.
That's not your choice.
That is their choice.
Yes.
So explain to us why you don't like it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I need to know why. I mean, I remember we had a phone call. The young man, do you remember that? The young man called in. I think it was 13 or
Yeah.
And he was really hurt by
Yeah,
that.
because his father didn't like it.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that.
I like to know how that's going along. If you're listening, I'd like you to call in so we
So we can see how far you went, how far you are with your
yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Also, see how y'all doing.
Yeah.
Kenyatta said, "I wanted to do that, but then they both had me ready to choke her home, so I had to end it though. Yeah, and on your father's side, I know he's stupid. Yeah, and I'm going to say that. Yeah, he's that way.
Yeah.
He want to be this, that, and the other, but he's just the wrong person all the way around. He's been wrong all his life, and he going to sit there and tell you how wrong you could be. That's funny to me. So I got you.
You live your life, whatever you choose. Live your life to the fullest. Hey, Let you know, love is in the air. Let
Love
it happen.
is always there.
It's in the air, let it happen.
Like Pastor said too, we heard this phrase quite a few times
Yes,
tonight.
yes.
Love is love.
No matter what.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
you love who you love.
Yeah.
Nobody, love does not have a face. It doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a personality. It doesn't have who it is. Love is love, and you just got to
matter
know what
how.
it is.
Exactly. And you know your heart.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what you choose, then that's what you do. You grown. You make your own decisions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But you guys, I'm so happy that you guys called in tonight, man. Listen, we are going to say, thank you to those who did tune in.
Thank you.
Share
Thank
this,
you.
have discussions, because Tobocius likes to do part 3 and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So we're going to do that. We're going to continue it, okay? So just remember that. But next week, guess what it is?
Uh-oh.
Anxiety. How are you dealing with your anxiety?
Wow. Okay.
Anxiety. Do you deal with your anxiety?
Right.
I
I got that.
Some people can't handle anxiety.
No.
They had to go to the hospital and get attention and what have you. So we're going to talk about that, with mental health and anxiety.
Yes.
So we're going to go there next week. So I hope you guys tune in. Continue to stay safe, blessed, and all those good things, okay? So we will see you
Next week.
Peace.
I'm up against the fight of my life. I'm so afraid to sleep at night. You won't get away. It's time for me